Your Excellency, Dr. Katja Kashubauma, Head of the Austrian Embassy, the Deputy Commissioner General of Uganda Prison Service, the Director Immigration, the Head of State House and Corruption Unit, the representatives of agencies which we closely work with, colleagues from the jail sector, development partners present, guests from the Office of the President, my colleagues, the directors, and heads of specialized units, members of the press, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This morning I'm privileged to stand before you and present the crime report, the annual crime report. But before I do this, allow me to announce to you the death of our two predecessors, retired Inspectors General of Police. The one who died first was the Inspector General of Police Emeritus Okoth Ogola, but also this week we also lost Inspector General of Police Emeritus John Kose Odomer. And at this juncture, I request that we have a moment of silence in recognition of these ancestors. Thank you very much. We shall continue to celebrate their lives because they made a big contribution to this institution, and we value what they left with us. First and foremost, I'm privileged to welcome you to the Uganda Police Force Headquarters, Naguru, for the launch of the Annual Crime Report 2024. This being my maiden Annual Crime Report as Inspector General of Police, allow me, first and foremost, to extend my sincere gratitude to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for entrusting me with the responsibility of leading the Uganda 74,000 cases in 2023 to 218,715 cases in 2024. I take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to our people who were able to lodge in their complaints at the various police stations and units in 2024. It is these reported complaints that enabled us to compile this annual crime report and be able to assess progress in fulfilling our mandate as enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Apart from my overall role, which is to give strategic guidance and direction to the police force to ensure law and order, one of my tasks as Inspector General of Police has been to implement the pending directive by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda to reorganize the force from a city or town-based force to a Uganda police force as envisaged in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. In so doing, we have started implementing the sub-county policing model, where we shall have 18 police officers at each sub-county. And within this 18, the total will be for patrols, while others will be supporting in other functionalities. This is aimed at decentralizing the police services closer to the people, enhancing crime prevention in the communities, and enabling quick response to crimes. I can comfortably comment at this stage, even as we start, that the support the police is getting is quite overwhelming, and we are quite sure that we are going to pull off this task very quickly, because the support of the rest of the people is with us. In the above reorganization of the force, the priority is in improving the mindset and operational readiness of the personnel to perform their duties, including their welfare, housing, health, and capacity building to ensure professionalism. This, coupled with adequate anti-crime infrastructure like the CCTV, forensic services, and all other enablers, we shall be able to provide strategic security, prosperity, and socio-economic transformation of this country, which is a big vision of the people of Uganda. I wish to commend the good coordination we have built with other stakeholders, including the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Judiciary, the jailers, local councils, the general public, and also including all the sister security agencies like the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Prison Services, Internal Security Organization, External Security Organization, and also both the local and international organizations. This coordination, cooperation, and collaboration explains the achievements we continue to register in dealing with various forms of crime to ensure that law and order is maintained. It is therefore our resolve that in 2025, my leadership will continue to focus on the above priorities, including expanding on the existing anti-crime infrastructure to ensure a professional and people-centered police for a safe and secure society. I once again encourage the general public to always report cases to the police because it forms the basis of policing strategies. At this juncture, I would like to call upon my colleagues to add on communication towards my presentation, and I would like the Director CID, followed by the Director Traffic and Road Safety, as well as the Director Fire and Rescue Services, in that order, to come and add on to my presentation, after which I'll get back and conclude this presentation. Thank you very much.
Afande IGP and all the distinguished guests, without going through again the protocol, my work as the IGP has guided is basically to give a brief summary of the highlights of the annual crime report. I will request my team to put it on the screens, yes, so that you can follow the executive summary. And then thereafter, when my colleagues are done and the report is launched, we shall provide the audience the copies, and later we shall also upload these documents on the various platforms of Uganda Police. Afande IGP has already told you that in 2024, we registered a 4.1% decline in the crime. And the organizing team this time has gone ahead to give you a summary in terms of projection, what we had in 2022, 2023, and now 2024. This is not a mean achievement. It means the entire police family has done everything together with the stakeholders to have this trend go down. But we have a few highlights in terms of cases that we were able to take to court, which is 81,750. In those, we also had convictions. And for us, this is, as CID, is a very big achievement. We registered 26,328. But we are also having some cases which are ongoing in court, arising from last year, which is 43,000. And of interest, we also had 46,000 which we did not proceed with. This category, people will report to a police station, but when you analyze, it is a civil matter, or sometimes it is resolved, so we don't proceed with such cases. But we also had 1,510 acquittals by courts of law, but the overall total which we submitted last year to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution was 119,000, and we also managed to get some cases dismissed, sometimes due to some technicalities, sometimes maybe we didn't put up the best case, so we go back and revisit these cases, and these were 10,000 plus. We are still having a backlog of 90,000 cases which are under investigation, and we think as we go in 2025, we shall report about the progress on how much we would have done on those cases. Now, briefly, Afanda IGP, the team has tried to prepare just on the highlights of specific crimes. Let's look at thefts. Our statistics of 61,529 cases registered, compared to what we reported last year, gives us a decrease of 6.6%. Now, this is not to say we are happy with this, but what we are dealing with is what we managed to recover or deal with in terms of thefts. On assault, by end of 2024, we had registered 29,000 cases, 580. Again, this was a decrease by 1% from what we reported last year, and we have also given you what we reported in our annual crime report of the previous year. On sex-related offenses, we see a huge decline from 14,425 sex-related cases, but this does not mean we are satisfied with that figure. It's a result of a lot of support, even from the JALOS and other stakeholders who have invested so much in this area. So I want to thank you, and I think the statistics prove that the coordination has worked. We see cases of domestic violence decreasing by 4% to now 14,073 that we registered last year. But when you compare it with the previous 2 years, we also see some steady progress there. These break-ins have been a big problem to our public, and I think as Afande was telling you about the sub-county model, it is largely being designed to assure our people that these break-ins of their homes must really be dealt with. But interestingly, from our statistics, you realize that it went down by 7.1%, meaning the combined effort we have used, all of us, has paid off. Life is better, although we are not yet happy with it. Now, on economic and corruption-related crimes, the Uganda police registered 13,132 cases. This gave us an increment of 1.6%. But you'll also realize the Inspector General of Government has her own statistics by the Constitution, issues which are not necessarily police-related. For us, we are reporting our part and the cases we investigated. Afande IGP, I want to report to the country that I think police has done some work in this fight on corruption, and we don't want to talk about it a lot. But we want to assure Ugandans that we are going to deal with these cartels. Regardless of who you are, how much money you own, the day we land on you, you will go to Luzira for sure. I'm happy Afande is here. He's keeping some of our big clients. So Afande IGP, with your leadership, I want to promise Ugandans that if you are stealing taxpayers' money, it may not be today, but when we get you, for sure, you will pay. That one I can pledge before the Ugandan population. Now, on the other, threatening violence, we did see a lot of decline. By end of 2024, we registered a total of 10,160 cases, but still, this was a decrease by 4% from what we had reported in the previous 2 years. On child-related offenses, we realized that the figures went down by 12.4% in this 2024, but efforts are ongoing, as you can see the trend, to work together and reduce this problem. Next, the next threat was on robberies, which also tend to worry our population. We see an increase by 5%. So this is a lot of work for us to do, but with the sub-county model, we have thought out a process to deal with this. On malicious damage to property, the police registered 7,992 cases. But again, when you look at in comparison with what we reported last year, we see a growing trend of improvement. But this remains one of our biggest problems, as it arises largely from the land conflicts, from the lot of land conflicts which continue to be registered. Related to that, we see the criminal trespass, which category also majority of this relates to conflicts over land, ownership, property, and so on. The next category is homicide. This is very unfortunate because we registered some very, very bad incidents last year, where a total of 4,329 cases was registered, giving us almost 1.9% increase in the homicide cases. And this, when the analysts and the scholars and all these experts study, there are numerous factors which have led to this, some domestic, economic, but slowly I think this is an area we can work together. On narcotics, a total of 2,240 cases were reported last year, giving us a 6% increase in this crime category. So this remains an area we are working on with the key stakeholders, and we are optimistic because it has slightly spread in our schools. And I want Fund IGP, with your permission, to thank my sister Sharon Nyambe, I don't know whether she's here, the UNODC. This is a huge area which police is working with the UNODC to make sure that we can create a huge impact in this area. On cases of arson, we registered 1,604 cases, giving us a decrease of about 10%. Escape from lawful custody, and the Deputy Commissioner General, we continue. Sometimes the people we keep there find some way to escape, but a number of them were rearrested, thanks to the efforts, combined efforts of the intelligence. But that is the trend. On land cases, which were reported to our Land Protection Unit, last year they handled a total of 397 cases, giving us about 46.5% increase. As I had told you, this remains one of our biggest problems, where people are disagreeing on how to utilize the land. Now, on political and media offenses, a total of 105 cases of political and electoral violence and even media were registered, giving us a decrease of about 16% compared to what we had reported in the previous 2 years. This was understandable because largely we were not in an election period, but as you are aware, we are preparing for an election. And Afanda IGP, again, I want to use this opportunity to assure Ugandans that we are going to protect you. You will vote in peace. Regardless of your color, if you are planning to cause anarchy, I think you should prepare yourself. Because it is our wish to make sure that every Ugandan is able to cast his vote in peace. So we want to assure people that we shall do whatever it takes to ensure our people vote in peace. The last area is terrorism. Last year, we registered not so many cases, 5. This is courtesy of the huge work being done within the interagency to make our Ugandans and our visitors and everybody safe. Terrorism remains one of our biggest threats, especially emanating from our neighborhood, but we are optimistic that we shall continue to be alert to ensure that our Ugandans are safe. Afande, with that summary, the rest of the details, my colleagues, after they give you, I want to use this opportunity, Afande, a minute, if you allow. I want to thank the team which prepared this annual crime report. I'm just the director, CID. I think Senior Commissioner Chelimo Biata and your team, Kamoya, I wish you were there, you could stand up for recognition. Now, that team has done something good, Afande, for us and for the analysts and the academicians and the media and everyone. On that report, they have annexed, right from the district, the tabulation, so that you can cross-check it and you can go through it and see how we arrived at those figures. But most importantly, they have also provided you some charts on the major criminal gangs that were cracked, and when you read it, it will be a nice area for you to study. So I'm very proud of you, but also, Afanda, as I conclude, we thank you for the support and the guidance, the Undersecretary and the entire police colleagues, because this is, since I came here, I think this is the first time we have presented the crime report on February 19th. Last year we did it on 22nd, and the first time I was here it was June. So really I want to thank the support, and we believe the coming year we should even be able to perform this function much earlier than February. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm called AIGP Niwabine Lawrence. I'm the Director, Traffic and Road Safety, Uganda Police Force. I'm going to present an overview of the traffic and road safety as reflected in this annual crime report. The Directorate of Traffic registered several offenses and also road crashes. I wish to present that there was a 19.2 decrease in the common offenses registered by the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety countrywide from 528,025 cases in 2023 to 426,432 cases in 2024. And that translates to 19.2 decrease. The road traffic crashes however, increased in 2024 as compared to 2023, and this increase registered was 6.4%. The total number of crashes registered were 25,107 crashes, and this translated to a 6.4% increase. In these road traffic crashes, we registered 4,434 fatal crashes and 7,539 minor crashes, and serious crashes were 13,134. Fatal crashes are crashes where we register death. Serious crashes are crashes where we register injury of a person. And minor, they are categorized as minor because we don't have death and we don't have injury of a person. Those are minor crashes. The numbers have been graphically presented on the graph that is being projected now. We can go to the slide of victims or casualties of road crashes. We wish to note that there were 25,808 casualties from road crashes in 2024 compared to 24,728 in 2023, giving a 4.4 increase in the number of casualties. And this number of casualties includes those persons that perished in the road crashes, those seriously injured, and those who sustained slight injuries. Those that were killed in these road crashes, from those that were killed in these road crashes, we registered an increase of 7%. And those seriously injured, 1.7%, and those slightly injured were 14.6%. And the summation was a total increase of 4.4% increase in road crashes, 2024. We noted the time of crashes. When do these crashes occur? And our analysis points to an interesting time, which is 1800 to 1959 hours. In that period, we registered the highest number of casualties, a number of crashes, which were 3,780 crashes during that time. And this time, is a peak period on our roads. The trend seems to move down from 2,000 hours to 2,159 hours. And that is the evening approaching and night time. This trend is similar to the fatal crashes that we register. The fatal crashes by the time of the day indicates that 1,800 hours to 1,959 hours, the same time is when we register the highest number of fatal crashes. And in 2024, 894, which is the highest, was registered during this time between 1,800 hours and 1,959. And the trend also decreases as the night progresses. We also analyzed the crashes by day of the week. And the highest number of crashes were reported to have occurred on a Sunday. There were more crashes totaling to 3,790 reported on Sundays than any other day of the week in 2024. In addition, 3,765 and 3,686 crashes were reported on Saturdays and Mondays. And generally few crashes were reported on Tuesdays compared to those days. This poses an interesting analysis. On Sundays, we have few vehicles on the road. And this is when we register many crashes, and this is when we register, again, death on our roads. Saturday and Monday. Today is not a day of pointing to the interventions. The interventions are being worked on such that we contain this situation of our people perishing on our roads on Sundays. It is also interesting to note crashes by collision types. And we noticed that collision with pedestrians constituted 19.5% of all crashes. This, therefore, indicates that the pedestrian die most on our roads. The rear-end collision and side swipes accounted for 16.2% and 17.7% respectively. These rear-end collisions is what we commonly say tailgating. The distance you leave between the vehicle in front of you and you driving behind may cause those rear-end collisions. Head-on collisions accounted for 13%. Head-on collisions. And angle collisions, these are 10.5% of all these crashes. And 9% of all these crashes were single vehicle crashes. These are vehicles that may hit a pavement and overturn, or without any obstacle, the vehicle veers off the road and either kills or injures, or sometimes does not injure. But these are collisions. We need to take note what causes them. Causes of these crashes are also numerous, but careless overtaking and speeding were the leading causes of road crashes in the year 2024, accounting for 44.5% of all these crashes. When you look at careless overtaking, according to the bar chart there are 5,657 crashes as a result of careless overtaking. Speeding, they were 5,505 crashes as a result of, speeding. And we have 2,681 unknown causes, those crashes with unknown causes. And this is where we find the hit and run. The hit and run. You knock something, you knock someone, you knock a vehicle, and you don't stop and you run away. The hit and run are found in that. There are several, ranging from using mobile phones, these dazzling lights, violating traffic lights, those fatigue. There are many. Under the influence of drugs, careless pedestrian. There are pedestrians who cross carelessly, and they are involved in crashes. And this last year, 2024, you can see the number of careless pedestrians was 946. We analyzed the trend of death by road user category, and as indicated on that table, the drivers who perished on our roads in 2023 were 232, and 2024 were 228, showing a decrease of 1.7%. However, the motorcyclists increased, the death increased by 13.2%. In 2023, the death of this category of motorcyclists accounted to 1,520 deaths. And in 2024 was 1,720, an increase of 13.2%. We still have the pedocyclists. I think all of you know the pedocyclists. They also die on our roads. We also have passengers on these motorcycles, but these passengers on these motorcycles are also vulnerable as the riders. And so the death increased by 10.1%. We also registered an increase in death of passengers in light omnibus from 93 to to 144, translating to 54.8%. And the rest, the pedestrians, the passengers in vehicles, passengers in omnibus, and passengers in medium, all reduced. But the motorcyclists and the passengers on the motorcycles and passengers in the omnibus, we registered an increase. And this is the increase that can have the figures that we have translating to a 7% increase. As I conclude, I wish to mention that there are steps being taken by government to improve road safety, and one of them is mandatory vehicle inspection, and if fast-tracked, will significantly reduce the vehicles which are not roadworthy, but also reduce vehicle adjustments in order to contain the load on these vehicles. Two, automating driver testing systems in order to control driver competence and standards. And also, the government is fast-tracking the intelligent transport monitoring system, and within a few, maybe months, we shall see it being implemented. And lastly, the long term would be the road redesigns, developing infrastructure that can discipline the road users, and also implementing the mass transit transport system, like railway transport and this Kayora bus transport system. With these steps being undertaken, we hope the 2025 accidents will reduce significantly. Thank you, sir.
The Inspector General of Police, the Deputy Commissioner of Prisons, and all of protocol observed. My name, I am AIGP Stephen Tanui, the current Director of Fire Prevention and Rescue Services. Sir, I am here to present an overview on the annual report of fire prevention and rescue services in this country. Based on 2024, that's last year, 2023, and 2022. And with your permission, sir, I immediately go straight to the point. And the report is concerning fires and emergencies in the country. Sir, there was a 13.8 increase in the fires reported from 1,104 in 2023 compared to 1,280 in 2024. Out of these cases reported, 1,150 were successfully handled by the Directorate officers. 120 were handled before arrival, and 120 and 10 were false, fictitious fires. Sir, there is a common trend in this country where people give the police false information. So it comes under the 10. They divert our resources, especially during day and night. The case in point, last week we attended about 3 incidences of false information. One was in Budo, another one was Yesu Amala, another one was in Kabalagala. And according to our resources, both non-human and human, just one route takes over 3 million shillings. The fire tender, the ambulance, then the tanker. That is fuel only, not counting others. So, there was also fires were reported between 0600 hours and 1200 hours. Then 33% were reported between 001 to 006. That 67% talks of daytime from 6 to midday. That is when there are many activities, and that is when we receive the highest number of incidents of fires. And the chart is very clear there, sir. In 2022, the figure was up 1,258. In 2023, it decreased. In 2024, there was a slight increase, 1,280, which is 13.8%. Can we go to the next? The next one is major fires were registered in residential buildings, followed by makeshift structures with a total of 300 and 250 respectively. There was also an increase of 9% in schools fires. And 2023 we had 50 incidences, and 2024 there was an increase of 5 cases, making it 55. So this area here is very, very vital because it touches schools, our children. And we have put strategies on how to mitigate and reduce some of these cases in schools. We have teamed us with the other stakeholders, Ministry of Education, the head teachers themselves, the area police, that is CLOs, and then the fire officers. We went back to education, awareness, and fire drills in order to prevent. As we continue, we expect a lot of reduction in this area. Some of them are cooperative, some of them are not. But we force ourselves and make sure that we work on this area. There was also major causes of fires. Major causes of fires was electricity related, and this is where there is a lot of increase now. There are so many points on the issues of electricity. There is when the electricity has gone off and our people forget to switch off their appliances. When the power comes back, it sparks off, that's when fires break out. There was also negligence and misuse of kind of works, 217, among others. Majority of the fires occurrences were registered in Kampala Metropolitan. It is true, Kampala is unique compared to some areas of country. Here in Kampala, when a fire has broken out in very suburbs, it is even very difficult to fight that fire. The roads are not there. The buildings, the urban authority did not plan. The streets are not named. The plot numbers are not there. So once the officers respond, they are looking for a plot number, a street. Now in places like Kasukosuko, there was a fire there. It became very difficult. Then, and other areas. So Kampala Metropolitan had 993 cases reported. And according to our chart there, it is the leading in the whole country. Kampala South, you can see there. Then Kampala North, then Kampala East is the list, followed by Mpigi, totaling to that figure, as you see on the chart there. So, there was also emergency rescues affected. And yes, that is it. If you look at that chart, you find that a pit open and closed in general. The pits have become a danger in this country. This is where we are going to sensitize our people again. And we need to handle it aggressively. When I was in the Kampala Metropolitan, I did not pick this figure very well. But when I am in a fire, it is the order of the day. These young girls produce and throw children in the pits. And that is life. And then some people accidentally fall in pit latrines. And the number is very high, that is 200. Number of rescues, 200, is a big figure. Then Valley Dams. Valley Dams is the next one, 50, and fish ponds. Then the rest, you see the number is totaling 315. So all these again need desensitization. And most of our people, they don't take interest in some of these areas, especially the fire aspect. A person will only call the police when there is a fire in his house. But the fighting equipment they don't have. So, and they don't take it serious. Not until it strikes your home or your relative is when you start thinking, hey, this thing is serious. That is most of our people. When we got to sensitize them, they tell us, why don't you provide fire extinguishers? You bring. Then the government may find it very difficult. So, sir, arson is also common in the schools, up country. Then, of recent, we lost a whole market in Kapchorwa because of negligence of those cooking. And sir, we still have gaps up country. The first vehicle to respond to that incident was going from Tororo. The one of Mbale was moving and it had a mechanical fault. So I'm happy to inform you that we need to thank the Embassy of Japan. I think this time, Kapchorwa will be catered for. So, sir, the total number is 1,280 causes of fires. Sir, as I conclude, I want to appeal to members of the public in this country here. We have had very, very serious and devastating incidents of fuel tankers overturning on the highways. The previous months, there was a wave. And the worst was the one of Chikogwa on a Bombo Road. Those people conspired not to tell the police, to inform the police in time, because they wanted to fetch fuel for economical purposes. By the time we responded, some of them were already gone. And we lost lives very, very bad. So, as a firefighters, that's the most difficult assignment, the one of fuel. The approach is very different from any other fire, because any mistake, they find themselves in that list. So I'm calling upon Ugandans, when they see any fuel tanker, they should not even risk to reach there. They should just report police. Otherwise, it is a source of death, because it's a timely bomb. The other one is, I already mentioned it, these people who call us to give us wrong information, misusing the resources which are supposed to be going to the right person, safety and the protection of property. So, I want to thank you and your team. I also want to thank the stakeholders who work with us, KCCA, Prime Minister's Office, Minister of Works, Water, and all stakeholders, and our members of the public for supporting us. And I want to assure the country we are there to perform that mandate given to us. And as we start 2025, I suspect when we come back here, the percentages will be reduced. I thank you very much, sir, and may God bless you. Thank you for listening.
First of all, allow me to thank my colleagues who have helped me to enrich this presentation. Directors, CID, traffic, fire, thank you very much. At this juncture, allow me, as I conclude, to thank the political leadership led by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, our line ministers, including our Permanent Secretary, Minister of Internal Affairs, the Police Authority in general, but also allow me to thank my winning team. My Deputy Inspector General of Police, I will apologize on his behalf, he's not with us this morning because he has gone to attend another important function. But I duly recognize his contribution, but I seriously recognize the contributions of my team formed by the directors, the police council, and all the other members of the police force, because this is teamwork. It's not about one person, one individual. It's the Uganda police force, strengthened by other players like interagency, the jailers sector, other development partners. This is how we come to reach where we reach, and we shall forever be thankful to all of you. With these remarks, let me take this opportunity to officially launch the annual crime report 2024. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Inspector General of Police. Sir, we have a small function of signing the dummy. You will be joined by a number of our guests, the CGP, representatives of the service chiefs, the Director of Immigration. I've been notified of the presence of the Deputy DPP, Mr. James Odumbi, is in our midst. Oh, sir, you are welcome. In the first place, I need to recognize your presence, but also invite you as a key partner in the signing of the dummy. Your Excellency, then we shall also have our directors. You get an opportunity. The Under Secretary, our Exchequer. First and foremost, sir, allow me to take this opportunity to recognize you, sir, but equally invite you for the signing of the dummy. We shall also have the representative of JELOS. We shall have the directors of Uganda Police Force as well. Which one? Yeah. The principal. Ah, this one is mine. Okay. The director GCIC shall need to have you there. We're a very key partner in this. criminal division.
It's there.
Huh? Criminal division.
Criminal division. It is here, yes? No, no.
Let me first announce this. Allow me also recognize in our midst my Lord Honorable Justice Lubu, the head of the Criminal Division, and also request you, my Lord, to take an opportunity and sign on our dummy. Sir, you are invited.
When I'm going to this thing, Dr. Kanda takes a picture holding it. That's what my friend. And also, I wanted to ask you, when do you think the head of Naguru and then this lady of UNODC should also invite them to sign the UNODC? UNODC.
We also invite the head of UNODC. The head of State House Anti-Corruption, sir, you signed? Oh, thank you very much. Afande Mbeine, oh, thank you, thank you. The directors of Uganda Police Force, done? Oh, thank you. Sir, at this point, we've had the dummy signed, but equally we request, oh, thank you.
I'm seeking for permission to have the lowest police officer around today also to append his or her signature on this dummy. With your permission.
Afande, permission granted. I know that we have some constables in our midst, but we have Kamsime Wilfred. At the risk of being accused of being biased, he's one of the foot soldiers in the PRO's office. Inspector General Police, we are humbled. How I wish I had the opportunity also to sign. But in the interest of time, that was a light one. Sir, the Fourth Estate is requesting, sir, that you hold that book again so that they have a memorable picture or photo or caption. Against this background, sir. Just once again.
You need this.
Paparazzis, I think that's enough, surely. Yes. We are now heading, before we take our anthems, let me take you through a short program. We are going to have group photos after the anthem. Now, in the group photos, we shall have the Inspector General as the constant. First, he will have, a photo moment with the directors. Then thereafter, he will also have a group photo with our stakeholders, but particularly the MDAs, those heading or representing the MDAs, and also those from our sister agencies. Then thereafter, we shall have a group photo again, IGP with JELOS and other stakeholders within that arrangement, the justice, law and order sector, and our stakeholders other than those mentioned. Then lastly, we shall have a group photo of the IGP with the organizing committee. And we shall move in that order. The place or location will be, I think, just behind, in front of this presentation. Sir, I request you, we are going to have the, Afande, we are going to have the anthems first, then we can stand on our feet, have the anthems. So in that order we mentioned, we shall have the group photos. Members, you can have a seat as the categories mentioned. The directors of Uganda Police Force. Wow. Thank you. We shall now have the IGP with our representatives of the service chiefs, the MDs, Deputy CGP, Afande Kasita Goa, Deputy DPP, I've been notified of the presence of the Deputy Commissioner General, URA. Sir, you are welcome. You can also join us for the photo. We shall have another with the development partners. Development partners, Your Excellency, you're welcome. And other stakeholders. Protocol help us in leading our guests to the front. The cameras give our guests chance to first settle in, then we take it. Thank you very much. May we have the organizing committee. Organizing committee. Myself, Let me go the other side. Let me pass the other side. Oh, you want to pause it?
Directors, the women.
Our guests, with the guidance, may we have the deputy directors of Uganda Police Force, all the deputy directors in our midst.
How did we forget that judge? The judge. Judge of criminal division. The Vatican. Nakati olaba otya to avoid an embarrassment otherwise. Tuyitaye just evayo.
May we also have a photo of the IGP and female police officers.
Bamuyita jaja Justice and the last one.
Sir, we have the last, at your request. We are going to have some special partners. The Deputy DPP, then Honorable Justice Elobu, the head of the Criminal Division. Please step forward. IGP invites you for a special photo. And the ambassador and then the head of jailers. Please step forward. Thank you very much. Allow me also announce that we have prepared a meal. Please don't leave without taking something. Protocol, please may you lead our guests. We are going to have IGP first exit the function, then immediately we transit to lunch. Protocol officers, let's have our guests led to a meal. Otherwise, we want to thank you for coming, for blessing this function, for this launch. It was really very, very, very warm of you. Thank you very much.
Yes, how are you? Well done. How is it? You lost. Oh, I'm done.
The deputy principal, Professor Witch.